Hey Yorba Linda, it's that time of year. If you've stepped outside recently, you probably know what I'm talking about. Mosquitoes are everywhere. So what I thought I'd do on today's episode, we're going to be interviewing Scott Martin. He is the owner of Pest Friends Pest Control, and he is located in Yorba Linda. So he's going to go over some of the things that you can do to prevent mosquitoes from getting in your yard, as well as some of the treatment options available to help reduce the numbers, so hopefully you and your family don't get bitten. Now, if you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Josh Alexander, your local Yorba Linda real estate agent, as well as host of Discover Yorba Linda, your one-stop shop for all things Yorba Linda. So whether you're thinking of moving to this great city or you already live here and just want to learn more about it, make sure you don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay everybody, welcome back to the show. So today I'm here with Scott Martin. He is the owner of Pest Friends. So it's a local pest control company in Yorba Linda. So Scott, thank you for joining the show today.
Absolutely, I'm happy to be here.
So the first thing we always want to ask is a little bit of background about yourself before we go into the business. So kind of how did you grow up around this area, some of the hobbies maybe you had, just kind of give me whatever you want to talk about before you got into this business.
Okay, yeah, I mean I grew up all over the place really, Southern California. Graduated from San Clemente High School. Okay. My wife grew up here, so she went to Esperanza, and you know I randomly worked out here when I was 18, and I was going to school at Azusa Pacific, and later met my wife, and she happened to live in Yorba Linda, and really that's how it happened as far as coming to Yorba Linda, and I've loved it ever since. Got into pest control by accident, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people don't grow up saying, I want to be a pest control specialist.
Never met somebody who said that. So I got into it, ended up enjoying it. You know, I worked in management for a larger company, and then moved up to upper management for about 12, 13 years, and just decided that I think there was something missing, mostly the customer service aspect. Okay. And really wanted to, you know, just take the risk and do my own thing, and here we are.
Okay, so speaking of, let's go ahead and talk about the actual business then. So what type of services does Pest Friend offer?
So we offer your general pest control for residential, commercial, HOAs. So all your crawling insects. We got mosquitoes, we got rodents, termite, gopher, and we even do some wood repair when it comes to termite damage and stuff like that.
Gotcha, which is definitely termites are common around this area.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And mosquitoes, which we'll get to in a second as well. That's going to be the bane of everybody's existence right now. So.
Yes, it's crazy. I get eaten alive too, so it's, you're not alone.
Seems to be everywhere right now. So, in talking about mosquitoes, because that's what a lot of people are probably viewing to see this on here. What are some of the things that people could do around their house that you provide, maybe don't provide, to help really reduce the mosquito population? Because you're never going to be able to get rid of it. I think hopefully most people know that by now, because if you treat your yard, mosquitoes aren't just going to be in a 10-foot by 10-foot environment, they're going to be spreading everywhere. So how do you best reduce the amount of mosquitoes in your yard and give yourself the best shot of not getting bitten as soon as you walk outside?
Right, so I mean I'm a big advocate of some sort of mosquito repellent, something with DEET or something. Okay. I mean, when I go out, if I leave my house, I mean, I definitely have to put something on, otherwise I get eaten. And some things to look for at your house are, I mean, going around and making sure there's just no sitting water. So it could be as small as a bottle cap. You know, they can lay their eggs in there, and, you know, it's something that you wouldn't necessarily think of or see.
That's all it takes.
And that's all it takes, you know, and it just can be a big issue. Gutters are a big one. Making sure they're draining correctly, so that way there's not standing water up there, and getting on board with your neighbors too. Making sure everybody's kind of on that same page, because you could only do so much as one house.
Yeah, that makes sense. And in terms of the different things that you offer, so if you were to go out to try to help someone with a mosquito problem, what type of things do you do to their house to help them prepare for that?
Yeah, so I mean, first thing is we're going to do an inspection, and then we're going to identify some of those areas that maybe you even could help control yourself. So whether that be potted plants, your drains, point out some of those things, and then what we initially do is we'll go out and we put typically 2 mosquito stations at a property, and these mosquito stations will help reduce the population. So it won't eliminate the population, but it'll help reduce them. And we'll put 2 of those out, and what it does is it stops the larva from being able to develop, and the adult takes that material that's on it and really contaminates the water that it tries to lay its eggs in.
Okay.
And when I say contaminate, it literally is a fungus that only attacks mosquitoes.
Okay.
So it doesn't harm beneficial insects like bees or butterflies or ladybugs.
Okay, good to know.
My daughter would kill me, if it did. So it's made for mosquitoes. So that's kind of that first step in reducing the population overall. And then we also apply a liquid application to all the bushes, shrubs, and areas where they like to nest or breed, and just hide, and that it will help with a more immediate knockdown.
Okay. And you have kind of a bucket here that you brought here. So these are the mosquito stations you're talking about. So about 2 of them each, you said usually you set up at the property.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do they really work? I know you kind of explained a little bit about it, but if you can kind of show the camera and just give them a general idea of what it looks like and how the whole thing kind of operates.
Yeah, so I mean, this is what it is, right? So it has a twist off top here that basically we fill this bucket up with water, okay? It has a device in here that is a floater, so it sits on top here, and I don't have it with me because I don't have anything on, but it has a net that goes around that sits there and floats, and that's what the mosquito goes to land on and then lays its eggs in the water. And that's what actually gets on the mosquito. So when it flies off to go lay eggs in numerous spots, because that's what they do, then it'll allow the mosquito to live for a little bit, so it can take it to the other breeding sites, and then the adult mosquito will die in about 5 to 7 days.
Okay, and that's the first step on there. You have the spraying on there. Obviously, if you're getting service at your house, maybe it's a good idea to approach your neighbors and see if they want service as well. The farther you can spread that net of kind of protection, I'm guessing the less mosquito issues you're going to have.
Absolutely. It's never a one house problem, right? It's a neighborhood problem. It's right now it's a county problem, a city problem, So, the more people you get on board, the more people we can help in, regards to mosquitoes and eliminate the control the population overall. We'll never be able to eliminate them. If you leave your house and you walk outside and you don't have any spray on, chances are you're still going to get bit, right? We don't have these things in necklaces, that you can walk around, which, would be helpful, but
Okay. And so if someone does want to get that service, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
You could easily go to our website, mypestfriends.com, or my phone number. We have our direct number on there, my cell phone number on there. Feel free to call, text, reach out, and be happy to help.
All right. And then the last question I always like to ask on these shows is, you live in Yorba Linda yourself. I'm guessing a lot of your service also revolves around Yorba Linda. So what makes the Yorba Linda community so special to you, since you live and kind of work here at the same time?
Well, it's the city that I've lived in the longest, right? So that helps right there. I mean, that's a big one for me. If you've moved around, you know what I'm talking about. And I mean, my daughter goes to school here. My other daughter will be going to school here. We're involved. We like to give back to the community. And really our business model is focused on density. So we only service North Orange County, and our primary focus is Yorba Linda.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you again so much for joining me on the show today. Hopefully you got some value out of this. Be able to go through your yard, make sure there's nothing out there that mosquitoes can breed in. Check those gutters, check your potted plants, make sure there's no standing water. And then on top of that, make sure you give them a call to be able to help to further assist you to try to get as many of the mosquitoes out of your property as possible. So thanks again for joining me today. And everybody, like always, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you on the next show. Bye, everyone.